Hi everyone, my name is Alec and this is a day in the life of a CADRE intern. Follow me. First thing I do every morning when I come into the lab is put my lab equipment on, so it'd be my lab coat, my double gloves, and my goggles. So after all of my PPE is on, I walk over to Freezer U to get started on my inventory for the day. But before I get started, I need to grab a box full of dry ice. This is very important because the samples cannot melt while I'm doing the inventory. So before I start pulling out the rack, I first put on a protective glove because liquid nitrogen is extremely cold. Once I pull out the rack, I make sure to let all the liquid nitrogen spill out in the freezer before fully pulling out the rack. Once the rack is on the floor, I pull out box A, which is the one I'm going to be working with today. After that, I make sure to place the rest of the rack back in the freezer. Once my new box is labeled, I make sure to move all my samples from the previous box into the new one. I also make sure that I'm charting on a paper where every sample is going. And now I head down to the basement where freezer F is located so that I can start transferring my samples. Once I get down to the basement to freezer F, I repeat the same process. All I'm doing is placing the new box with the samples that I have into the proper rack and storing it into the freezer. Once that's done, I head back up to the lab to put the dry ice back and take off my PPE so I can get started on charting it on the computer system called LDMS. LDMS is where I keep track of where I transfer all the samples so that everyone in the lab knows where everything is. Once this is all caught up, I head out for the day. And that's it. That's a day in the life of a CADRE intern.